If she went on a date with someone on Tinder, how do you know that's even their real name?
No, true.
All you've got is their number and stuff. Like, they're going to be, you're an open opportunity for free.
Yeah.
Have you shared your location with anyone? Like, that's accepted when it's for free.
Yeah.
But, like, don't we pay money to feel experiences, go on holiday, feel warm for a week?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to invest in an intimate experience that somebody could create for you? So an SW can be anything from, a scripper to dominatrix to full service to OnlyFans, just basically some form of SW.
Wow.
I was convinced myself, because it was a marriage, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, tearing that apart, I knew was going to be expensive.
Yes.
And logistically, a nightmare. Like.
And was it a messy divorce then as well? Or?
It was pretty messy, yeah.
I'm here with Chelsea, who's come all the way from Wales to tell us about life as an SW. Now, what is an SW? Let's see. How are you?
I'm good.
Good,
Thank you for asking, yes.
So obviously, let's just talk about, the elephant in the outdoor room at the moment.
Yeah.
So obviously, SW, what is an SW?
SW is short for sex worker.
Right.
I'm using code because I don't want to get you demonetized or whatever on YouTube. But yeah, it can be, so an SW can be anything from, a scripper to dominatrix to full service to OnlyFans, just basically some form of SW is what it falls under.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, obviously, the first thing is you must get a lot of hate, a lot of criticism for what it is that you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it tough? Like, does it feel like there's really a lot of people just be like, oh, this is just, does it get tough, or do you feel like you just battle through it?
It definitely has its challenges, 100%. Like, you will be met with stigma. It is a very stigmatized industry. And you've got to be able to stomach that, so you need to really enjoy your job. If you can withstand the stigma, then you'll be all right, because I find the positives of it worth it and rewarding. So I find that it's quite like a healing sort of job, because I do full service SW, and that means that I do see people in person, and we do the full intimate act. Sometimes, most of the time. Other times, not so much. It can be very K-Inc focused.
Wow, okay.
Which is a different thing altogether, but it's basically like grown-up playtime, imaginative play, but
without the soft play, but with the toys.
That's involved,
So, how did you get into it?
I actually got into it because I was getting divorced. So it went on way longer than I was expecting it to. I thought it would only take a year. It took 3. I ended up going through court for like a couple of those years, which was really difficult. So I was starting to sort of default on credit cards. I didn't have a house and mum and dad to go back to. I had to rent, and I was by myself, so one income household. And because it was taking longer, like, I thought I was going to get the payout, I was like, I need, 150, whatever it is, I need it in my hand now. And I thought, what, I'd be really good if Hanky Panky was a job.
Hanky Panky. So did you just have a list of things and said Hanky Panky won, or like?
No, well, I didn't just go blindly into it. I obviously researched agencies in the area to work for. I grilled them for like 2 hours. Before I went into it, and then I was sort of exclusively agency based for like 2 years. I've only been freelance for like the last year, doing all the groundwork, marketing, everything myself. And I'm sort of multifaceted with it now. So I do camming, I do OF as well, OnlyFans, adult modelling, so like paid sort of modelling shoots, which can get, to the more erotic levels that perhaps normal models wouldn't go to. And domination services. I'm trying to get into podcasting myself.
Oh no, I've seen it. So I've seen the edits. It's not bad.
Yeah, why do one thing when you can do 5 and work 24/7?
Literally. Well, you've got a great head on your shoulders, haven't you? So, like, what was your first experience like?
My first experience. This is actually quite an interesting one.
Yeah.
So the first shift I had, I was gonna do it fine. It was all gonna be great. I was quite confident about it after doing the interview and stuff. And then I had a massive row with my ex-best friends.
Okay.
And they sort of were like, you're gonna get, grievous bodily harm, that kind of stuff. You're a troublemaker and you're just causing issues. So I sort of was like in a panic and ended up going and being taken to this appointment because I rang up to the boss man and I was like, have you ever had any fatalities or GBHs? And he was like, you told your mates, didn't you? He was like, you shouldn't have done that. And I'm glad I did though. And so I ended up having him take me there, and it was to this appointment, and the guy obviously didn't really know how to speak to women. I think he might have been on a spectrum of some sort. Okay. And he just wanted his nipples sucked.
What?
Pretty much.
What on earth? Okay.
Yeah, so I was just mostly sucking nipples throughout. I did obviously do the deep, but that was like 2 seconds. Yeah. Because he was mostly into the nipple thing.
Right. Okay, interesting.
And I kind of like disassociated at the time, and I was like, this isn't what I expected, but it's also, it's not that bad.
Okay. Right.
I've got a bunch of money, and now I've paid the credit card company, and I can use that money because I defaulted, so I couldn't touch any of it, and I needed that for like my food shop and stuff. Okay. And throughout that week, it actually saved me 3 times.
Wow. Okay.
In that instance. Yeah. So all those feelings of uncertainty and being told I was making the wrong decision, I ended up cutting off those people altogether. Yeah. And I've nothing but flourished since.
So would you say that you've lost friends as a result of being like what you are, should we say?
I wouldn't say I've lost friends. I would say I cut the dam. So I basically cut the ropes that were holding me back.
Okay, got you.
So you can't ask the universe, to level you up and be on the path that you want to be on and be surprised when it removes whatever was blocking the way, which was them, pretty much.
Wow, okay. And in terms of like family, okay, so family is a big thing in obviously everyone's life. So what is your family life like?
So I'm a divorced mother of 1. Yeah. I co-parent, get on well with my ex, it's fine. They're very much aware of what I do. Yeah. Obviously not going to name their names or anything, but my own family knows what I do as well, because my ex-best friends went a little bit psycho and decided to start ringing people, telling everyone I was off the rails. So I was like, right, better get to them first.
Better let them know.
So I was most sort of worried about telling my dad, to be honest, because he's the only parent that's still alive, unfortunately. Okay. But he was fine with it.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so I was like, heart beating, like, oh my God, I'm about to get disowned. But he was like, look, I'm fine with what you do. Yeah. I used to fight for these kind of services for my residents at the care home who were sort of committed to living in the facility for the rest of their lives. Yeah. And the council were arguing that it wasn't a necessity to have SW visits twice a year. Okay. And he argued that was very ableist.
Oh, really?
And that intimate needs were human needs and human right, and they were denying that to their residents. And he was like, don't get me wrong, I don't want to know the ins and outs.
That's really interesting, actually,
Good point, like as if you talk to your dad about
you wouldn't,
your sex life anyway, you wouldn't. And he was like, as long as you're safe and you're happy.
And how far along were you when you actually mentioned it? Was it like straight off the cuff, or was it like a few months in? Or
it was definitely a few months in. Yeah. Okay. Because it took a few months for me not listening to my ex-best mates for them to start doing all the batshit crazy things.
So
to be like, she's not listening to you.
She went behind your back, basically.
And I was just like, right, okay.
So you thought, okay, maybe we'll just let it out. This is a bit
psycho. Might as well just put it all on the table.
Yeah, put it all out there. Wow.
So because I didn't know what they were going to do. Turns out they didn't actually say what I was doing, but I thought, before she does anything more unhinged, I'll just do it. So, and everyone was very accepting of it. I'm lucky that people were accepting.
What about life in marriage? Because obviously that's, we're talking about 2 completely separate things. So in marriage, what were you like? Was it like you had a normal stable job, or what was your situation?
Yeah, I had a normal job, civil service based. Okay. The marriage, I was very young when I met my ex, and he was a lot older. Okay. And I think we didn't really grow together because he was already grown and I still had a lot to do. Okay. And we just didn't align anymore. But we got a beautiful kid out of it, so no regrets.
Your daughter?
Yeah. And, you know, people do ask me as well, I get this question a lot, what are you going to tell your kid if they find out? And there's age-appropriate ways of letting her know what I do if she asks, which she has a couple of times, and I've said, you know, grown-ups do this, it's not just to have babies, it's to feel nice, and it releases good hormones, it can be really good for you as long as you're safe about it. And Mummy does that as a service.
Okay.
So she does, when she has asked here and there, because she's seen me do, you know, STI tests and stuff for me, and she's like, what's that, Mummy? And I'm like, it's a test to keep Mummy safe. But so she kind of like does know, and if anything ever came up in school, I mean, kids always bully kids, whatever happens, and she probably will get that regardless. She's a little bit on the TISM scale, so so that's going to be unavoidable, but I'm sort of hoping to bring her up to not be part of the problem of being judgmental and sort of down nosy about SW.
So here's one. I think I know the answers already, but let's say your daughter said that she wanted to go into the same line of work as you. How would you approach that?
I actually would be fine with it. I know everyone's like, no, you wouldn't. If she's gone through life and struggled the way I did with normal jobs, which I did, you know, I would do training, and then as soon as we went to BAU, my mind would throw out that information because I wasn't interested in it. And it was late diagnosed ADHD. I would rather her be happy. If that genuinely makes her happy, I'd be happy for her to do it. And if anything, I'm more equipped to sort of make sure she doesn't make the growing pain mistakes that I did, and like embark my wisdom with what I've learned so far with doing the jobs.
So like, what do you feel like the key mistakes that you made were, like in the early? I'm not talking that led you to be an SW, because it's not a mistake being an SW, but like, you know, in the early life. So obviously you mentioned an early marriage, but now you're a businesswoman, right? So the early goings, what mistakes do you feel you made?
So letting people talk too long on the phone. So there are lots of people who are never going to book. They are getting their kicks for speaking to you for free. Definitely to be in tune with sort of your intuition. You know, look at the way people are speaking to you in the message. Speak to them on the phone. And try and like use this inbuilt compass that we have, this sixth sense as humans, to pick up if you think this person is going to be safe. Always take deposits. Don't make exceptions for that. Because say if somebody turns up to an appointment and all you've got is a phone number, a text, somebody can say, oh, someone stole my phone. If that person decides to assault you, you haven't got enough evidence, you haven't got enough intent, you know, even if it's just a small deposit. They can be like, oh, someone stole my phone, and be like, isn't that your account? Isn't that you?
Of course.
That's you though, isn't it?
Exactly.
And
if
that's
someone
all
did,
it
they'll
is.
pay for it. If they just won't bother, will they? Then you know straight away.
And, you know, I don't see the difference really when you meet people, say, like if she went on a date with someone on Tinder, how do you know that's even their real name?
No, true.
All you've got is their number and stuff. Like, they're going to be, you know, you're an open opportunity for free. Have you shared your location with anyone? Like, that's accepted when it's for free. But like, don't we pay money to feel experiences, go on a holiday, feel warm for a week? Why wouldn't you want to invest in an intimate experience that somebody could create for you?
Of course. And what about, obviously now, you know, you're flourishing, you're doing really well. Tell us about the new podcast, because obviously you've got your own podcast that's coming out. So tell us about that. Yeah,
so it's called Desexmatize. It was originally called the Sex Work Collective, as in WERK. But anything with the word SEX in it, it got taken down with 48 hours, deplatformed. So we called it Desexmatize, and it's all to do with destigmatizing SW. And also I quite like focusing on the intersectional separatism that goes on, you know, like cam girls like saying, oh, you don't have to get naked if you don't want to, we just chat, or OF girls being like, yeah, but we don't sleep with people. It's like, but there's nothing wrong with the people who do. You don't need to step on someone else to make your, you know, line of SW seem better. It's all SW, just the same. So.
And obviously we've talked about the early mistakes in the career path of SW, but what about the early mistakes in, you know, pre-SW, the birth of Chelsea, shall we say? What like, we talk about, you know, credit card defaults and situation in marriage and stuff like that. But were there like certain things that kind of triggered you to just be like, listen, I'm just fed up of what I'm in terms of education or life? Like, were there certain things, you know, I just can't do it no more?
Yeah, so with the marriage thing, I was just sort of like setting all these mini goalposts. Like, it's just going to get better when this happens. It's just going to get better when that happens. And like, you can only drag that relationship so much and like be promised things are going to change so much before you realize it's not changing. And like, I was convinced myself, because it was a marriage, you know, it's a big deal, like tearing that apart, I knew was going to be expensive and logistically a nightmare. Like
And was it a messy divorce then as well, or? It
was pretty messy, it got pretty heated, but it's water under the bridge now. Got done. I mean, he spent probably like 50-60k just to give me what I was asking for in the first place, but whatever, that's not really like,
just giving it and just save the money, do you know what I mean? But
you know, it's done now, and and I just think I tried so hard, I threw everything at it, and I don't regret any of it, because I really did try, but it got to a point where I was getting ill and I was starting to like, I was like resenting the pair of them.
You weren't physically and mentally there, basically?
No, I was like, I was pretty depressed. I was going to bed super early. I was very snappy. I didn't even want to read my kid a bedtime story. I was just got super resentful because nothing was actually changing when I thought it would get better, and it wasn't. And I wasn't being met halfway. So I had to just say it's over.
How did you take it when you said that?
Well, he was like, oh no, don't do this. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, what? You know things aren't right. Like, this has been 2 years of the same roundabout. Like, but eventually just got on board and we just got on with it. And I moved out after like 3 weeks. I was going to stay, but
you couldn't stay. You couldn't see it.
No,
definitely not.
Atmosphere with a knife. When you split up, you know, it's a big deal, isn't it?
And what about like your daughter in this time of divorce? How did she take it all?
Well, she was only 2.5.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So she wasn't going to know any other way. And I kind of knew at that point, I was like, it's now or never. Because I'm a child of divorce, and my parents weren't very mature about it. And, you know, they did kind of argue with each other through us, us the kids. So I didn't want that for her. And, like, we don't say a bad word about each other to her. Like, it's not her fault that we broke up.
No, of course.
Do you know what I mean? So we are very, very civil to each other. Even now, like, I'll even go for coffee or ice cream with him.
Of course.
You know, and she'll just be happy as a pig and shit.
Ice cream, whatever. Do what you want to do, I got my ice cream.
She'll get, you know, 2 of us together occasionally, and that'll be good for us.
Yeah, it's good to have that, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think it works a lot better that we didn't let it seep in. I tried my best, like, because we had to move a lot with renting, had some neighbours that weren't so great, there was lockdown, so I ended up moving way more than I wanted to, and I tried to keep it as seamless as possible for her, but we're settled now, so all good.
You're okay for memory so far, because we're closing now? Okay, cool. What does the future hold for Chelsea?
The future, so I definitely want to sort of go for more of the upper crust clients
of course,
in future,
naturally.
So sort of like longer, sort of higher paying ones that are sort of more energetically rewarding, both sides. And then also just being a voice for SW and destigmatizing the industry. I do have an idea for a second podcast.
Oh, okay. You heard it here first.
I want to get one called
Royalty.
Yes. In hysterics.
Okay.
I just want to sort of like have a light-hearted, sort of see how funny these women are. Humanize them. You know?
Exactly.
Like, some of these women are incredible, and they're witty and they're funny, and they're just great to see. And I think the world needs to see them as more than just,
they are,
you
people,
know,
aren't
10 to 2 legs of Kimbo.
They're people, aren't they?
Exactly. So get behind that, get behind movements like decrim, so full decriminalization of SW, and union movements and stuff, the SW union.
Right, so Chelsea, fitness is a big part of your life as well, isn't it? Like, you're telling me you're training for something
I am a bodybuilder.
Bodybuilder,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
bodybuilder SW.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I did that mainly for personal reasons. I had body dysmorphia.
Okay.
And I was just sick of hating how I looked.
Okay.
Punishing myself with exercise. And just, so if I ate something bad, I would like do 2 CrossFit classes in a day.
Oh, wow. Right.
Do you know what I mean? So like my relationship with food was a bit crap, and I was like, I'm sick of this. I want to do something. Bodybuilders obviously know what they're doing. There's some sort of science to it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Wow.
And yeah, so I got into it about 3 years ago. And got into the whole bulking and cutting and then doing shows in the last 2 years.
And then you don't look back with it?
No, at the minute I love where I am with it.
Okay,
I'm really enjoying it.
So are you competing or?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Wow.
My first competition of this season.
Okay.
And then 20th of July I'll have my second. I'm only doing 2 this year.
Okay. Only 2? Oh, sorry.
Only 2. There's normally 3 or 4.
Not 100 then.
Well, you have to make the most of the season because you can't be lean all year round. Otherwise your metabolism's going to be screwed.
Okay. And is it tough? Like, how do you feel like, because it requires a lot of dedication, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, you get 6 months of the year where you can be a bit more lenient and you are eating more and you're a bit fluffier around the edges.
Yeah.
So you can have meals that are off plan. You just have to train heavy, make sure you're having enough protein. And 6 months of the year where you're in a slow sort of steady cut, and then it's sort of the last, I would say, 6 weeks where it gets serious and you have to be super strict and very sacrificial.
Well, I mean, it sounds like really hard work, and I think it requires dedication, and it's unbelievable that you've managed to do that. So is that kind of like a goal for you to be a champion bodybuilder or champion weightlifter?
I'm hoping to place in the bodybuilding, definitely. That is what I want. I got a bronze last year for wellness.
Yeah.
I want a gold in at least one of my shows.
Wow.
I won't be disappointed if I don't. I'll just take on the pointers and try and come back next season better.
And is this your first one or your first 2?
This is my first 2 of this season. I did a competitive season last year.
And how did you do last year?
Got a bronze in one, didn't place in another.
Okay.
But the other one was more fitness modelling, so it was a bit more sassy.
Wow.
But this is more, mandatory poses, looking for the definition and composition, and also your posing routine.
Wow.
So,
Wow, amazing stuff. Okay. And a few questions. One will be serious, one will be funny. Just to close up. Yes. Can money buy happiness?
No.
Okay. Why?
Because some of the people with the most money in the world are not happy.
Okay.
You need to follow your true calling, and the money should flow as a tool regardless of that. But if you're moving in the wrong directions, you can have lots of money and be very miserable.
Wow, okay. Now we'll do some funny ones that will roll in editing. Okay, I have 10 bananas on the table. I take away 6. How many bananas do I have?
Oh my God, 4?
How many bananas do I have? Yeah?
This is a trick question. I'm not good at
There's
maths.
10 bananas on the table.
Right.
I take away 6. How many bananas do I have?
Oh, you've got 6.
Yeah, I took them away, haven't I? Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Right, okay. Name me 3 countries with the letter Y.
Oh my God. I don't know.
No?
Yemen?
Okay.
Yosemite? I don't know. That's somewhere in Canada.
Yosemite? Okay. Now, the question.
I just go Yemen.
With the letter Y. With the letter Y.
Oh, with the letter Y?
Yes, yeah.
Fuck's sake. Hungary.
Hungary, yeah, well done. No one's said that one before.
What else has got a Y? Shit. Oh my God. That's it.
Germany,
Hungary,
Uruguay,
Yemen,
Paraguay.
Germany.
Okay. Yeah. All right then. Okay. Repeat after me.
Oh.
Red.
Yellow.
No, I said repeat after me.
Oh fuck.
Start again. Repeat after me. Red.
Red.
Yellow.
Yellow.
Blue.
Blue.
What colour is the grass?
What colour's the grass?
Oh,
hey! You caught me once.
You did think about it though, didn't you?
I know.
All right, cool. Well, that has been Real Boss with Chelsea, talking about life as an SW, and I hope you found this insightful. Please drop her a follow. She's tagged, and obviously on the YouTube in the comments you will see her as well. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, pleasure.